Arteta is missing the, the point. It's either you're a six or you're an eight. You can't play 6-1 game, then you go eight, then you go six. How are you going to get momentum?
It was dog shit football. Like we were playing some horrible stuff.
Guys, you know what's scary? I think that we play so slow on purpose.
Organization is happy to just change top four. They must send me an email and say, you know what, our objectives are just this. We don't want to win, we just want to get the best.
Hello everyone, 2025,
Yep.
new year, same old Arsenal. What up? Welcome H-Dub in the airwaves. We've got Mr. Magaya, Kill Bill, and there, man, myself. Let's chat, man. What's up? What is going on, guys? What is going on?
Well, compliments of the new year. Let's start that way. Gunners worldwide. Wishing all of you a prosperous and winning and healthy 2025. Yeah, man, it's same old Arsenal. I think you put it straightforward there. Let me put it this way. I heard there's no Dubai this year because of the Champions League games. We have two more Champions League games. Hopefully we can go through automatically without having another two games. That's how crazy the Champions League schedule is. So there's no Dubai, man. No Dubai. But just before I hand over to Bill, as you guys know, Carabao Cup for me has always been a priority this season. So I was quite sad about the way that we, I don't know what's the word really, because it wasn't capitulation because the chances were there, right? But I think it was just, I think it was a kick in the teeth because we know what we need, and one of those targets literally tore us apart with the small chances that he had. And that's kind of what hurt, though. Not the ball being different, just just the fact that a very good striker, clinical, someone that we need, someone that's probably on our list, basically just came in our backyard and auditioned, basically. Kind of said, like, come and get me. Why didn't you get me before? And here I am. Bill, thoughts?
First off, I'll start by saying Happy New Year to all the gooners out there that are listening to this podcast. I hope you guys transitioned into 2025 well, but we got to get straight to it. 2025, we got to start off from the games that have been played. Uh, we started off with Brentford 3-1, good victory, and I thought that we were gonna coast from there. Because let's see, guys, in terms of the Premier League, I think we are today 5 points behind Liverpool. They have one game in hand. Theoretically, there's still a lot to play for, but we saw that this season, for me, has been about missed opportunities. We have not been able to capitalize on Liverpool's mistakes or on Man City's mistakes. Every time they draw, we draw. Every time they lose, we lose. And we are not picking up points where we deserve. I thought Brentford would be able to kick on. We went to Brighton, lackluster. Decisions were made there that, yes, we can blame the refs. Yes, we can debate about why Ethan Waneri had to come off at halftime. Was he injured? Was it the second yellow card? Why was Timber not playing? Because of this stupid time wasting free throws. It's just ridiculous. Momentum built from Brentford going into Brighton. We drew, felt like a loss. Okay, as we stand, Premier League, 5 points behind. Let's come into this Carabao Cup. We knew going into this, we had a good draw. We don't want to draw Tottenham because we knew it would be an anxiety roller coaster. Playing them on two legs. If we had lost to them, we would never hear it down. We didn't want to face Liverpool. Liverpool is a beast right now. Everybody chasing. Who do we get? Newcastle. Okay, so in those three, I would thought that that would have been the one that we would be able to handle. Let's face it, lineup came out. To me, it looked like the strongest lineup we had, barring the Trossard position. If we had added Jesus there, I think we wouldn't have complained about that. Lewis Kelly has been playing well off the left. Timber on the right. We all wanted Partey at the base, or we wanted him away from right back. He was there. Declan Rice was where he was supposed to be. Odegaard was there, and the rest of the front three. For me, I think when you look back, if today or tomorrow these guys are studying tape, Kai Havertz should be watching what Isak was doing because everything that we want in a player or we want Kai Havertz to do, Isak did. As space invader, run between, run into the lines, deadly finisher. That's what we need. We saw another player, Anthony Gordon. He's on form, playing the position that he's supposed to be playing, and he's doing what he's supposed to be playing. My gripe with Arteta is there is no consistency in this lineup. You have Martinelli 1 week, then he comes, then Trossard after 60, then you have the next week Trossard for 60, then it's Martinelli. Now you're putting Trossard at right wing where he hasn't really played there, and you have players that should be played there. I don't get it. I don't get it. Kai Havertz, for all he is, I don't think that he's going to get us to where we need. It's so obvious that we're lacking goal, we're lacking deadly players, and we just don't have that. Newcastle, they came with a good game plan. They knew what they needed to do. And on top of that, their players are clinical. Ours are not. For me, Kai Havertz should be a bench player. He's not a
Yeah.
striker. He was bought to be a midfield player. That's what Arteta said in the conference when he came in. He didn't recruit. We can go back and have this conversation about recruitments and what we did in the summer. The club did not do enough to supplement or to fill the positions that we needed. The players that we got, all of them in a semi-final game for a trophy that we have already been saying it's either trophy or bust. Not saying Arteta in, Arteta out. It's either trophies this year or bust. In a semi-final game at home, which it's over 2 legs, the 3 players, 4 players actually, that were bought in the summer were in the bench. They don't make our starting lineup. So what did we do? We bought squad players instead of players that we actually needed. We all knew we need a striker. We didn't get. We all knew we needed a midfielder because we needed to fill that 8 position. We got, but he is not doing what he's supposed to do. He's not. Marino, for all his qualities, he's not agile and
What
dynamic
qualities,
enough.
man? I
No,
don't
he
see the
does.
qualities you guys
No,
talk
he
about,
does.
man.
He does have his qualities. He does. And you, Fabio, should probably know better than when I say the 3 of us, because you're a stats guy. If you look on who scored and so forth, you'll see that his dual percentages are all up. And that's what we were looking at when we were trying to recruit. And everybody was like, this guy's a dual monster, la la la. But that's not what we need now. Look at the dynamic of the game yesterday. You had Joe Linton
Yeah, Joe Linton
over
was
there. That is an
brilliant.
8, my man. That guy was 8, and he was driving forward. I know Declan Rice did the same thing, and you have Partey at the base. But let's, be clear, guys. For me, Declan Rice, for all his qualities, Arteta is missing the point on him. It's either you're a 6 or you're an 8. You can't play 6 1 game, then you go 8, then you go 6. How are you going to get momentum? How are you supposed to build momentum of that? Rice was supposed to come in to fill that 6 spot and let Thomas Partey relax because he was injury prone. If we were looking at Caicedo or we were looking at Declan Rice, they were coming for the 6. Now he's playing 8. Why didn't we fill the 8 spot? We can't.
Hear you, man. To be honest, you're more reserved than After watching how you were feeling yesterday after the game, I was worried you were just gonna come in. Hey, I was worried you're just coming in like, you know what, Arteta out, and we'll get there. We'll discuss that. But you're
That's what
actually
sleep
being
does
quite
to you.
reasonable. Yeah, you just needed some sleep. But you're making a lot of sense about everything you've said. I do feel like I have to like respond to a few of them. To be honest, when I looked at the lineup yesterday, like you said, I was happy. I think that Arteta putting Trossard on the right, it could have been a tactical surprise, man. Could have been cool. I I wasn't bummed that he was there because, to be honest, when I heard that Sterling was back, I was like, oh no, he's gonna put Sterling. I was like worried. I know you guys are pissed off that he didn't, but for me, Sterling, it's finished, guys. It's over. You know my opinion on Sterling. So I actually don't blame the lineup for yesterday. In fact, I actually do feel a bit sorry. I know it's gonna be defending Arteta, but I feel a bit sorry for the coach because Havertz, you guys know, has not trained. He has not trained, guys, for more than a week, right? So Havertz is not well. You know what I mean? We all at Christmas, we've all been there. We ate a lot of things. You spend a few days in the toilet. That's been Havertz, man. Yesterday, he didn't look himself. So I feel like I know people are coming down hard on Havertz, but for me, Havertz, I cannot judge him. Like he played knowing that he's not well and he might get criticized. What I don't understand is why did he play and why did he play for so long when Jesus is kind of in better form, right? But it's fine. Odegaard is the same. He's had the same sickness. We all know Odegaard, like the past few weeks, is not been the same player. We know it. You can see the guy is trying, but he's not playing that well. Unfortunately, we also have been decimated by injuries, right? But I hear you. What I really hear from you is where we messed up was in the summer, right? We messed up. Like all those players we signed, like you said, they didn't start yesterday for a reason. So I feel you, man. But at the same time, like, I honestly think Newcastle is a good team. I know everyone is saying like, oh, this, that. To be honest, I wanted Spurs because Spurs, they're allergic to trophies. So I feel like we would have been motivated. We can beat Spurs. Newcastle, I was actually a bit scared, man, because they beat us just a few
I
weeks ago, man.
I actually think we would have ended up playing Newcastle and anyways. I agree with you. We would have beaten Spurs. I think. Look, I agree with Bill as well, saying it would have been it would have been an emotional roller coaster for sure, because we don't want to lose that tie, right? But but for sure we would have smacked them because it's Spurs. But I think if it was Newcastle versus Liverpool, right now, based on form, I think Newcastle actually could beat Liverpool. I think Newcastle. I think I said it on the group. They're the most informed team in the Premier League over December, and you know December is heavy. You know, for every team in the Premier League, it's heavy, and they've managed to now have some consistency because they also had some injuries, I believe, in the beginning of the season, and now that most of their players are back, um,
Yeah,
and
with
and
Arsenal.
yeah, and early in the season they had a few injuries. They weren't as consistent, and now you know most players are back. They found form. Good fixtures as well. Interesting fixtures. You know, Old Trafford beat Man U, the Toilet Bowl, the other place in North London, beat Spurs, and then they beat us. You know, so
Yeah.
they're on a good run of form, and I think um, you know when I saw Newcastle, we played them away. You know, they beat us away in that controversial game where the ball went out and the Gabriel push.
Last
And
season.
then yeah, and then we in the league this year we also lost against them 1-0 away. So for me, I've always like look at Newcastle away like, ooh, that's like yeah, tough one. So when I saw like that we're playing against Newcastle at home first, I was like, okay, this is actually good because we can actually try and win the game at least by one or two goals, and then we've got something to protect. You know, less pressure because the Newcastle crowd are going to put a lot of, you know, going to make a lot of noise, going to shout at the referee for every decision, and that's going to, you know, at least having that cushion is going to help our players relax and play our game, right? But now now it's completely, you know, on its head, completely on its head. You can't say, you know, you can't say that it's completely over, but my gut and I'm sure probably Bill would agree with this. Like it's over, man. I can't see us even beating Newcastle. on the way we're playing right now, I can't even see us beating Newcastle at St James's Park when we play them in the second leg, which I think is at the beginning of Feb, something like that. I can't see it.
Yeah,
Not the way we're playing right now.
I,
When we can't even attack through the center, man. It's
Ah.
through the center. We're second
can,
in the Premier League and we struggle to attack from the center.
can I actually tell you something about that? Because you guys are talking about stats. I actually went to look at some Arsenal stats today. Guys, this is a bit sad. Did you know that out of the 20 teams in the Premier League, we're the team that attacks through the center the least? I went to check
I can believe that.
the 20 teams in the Premier League. That's bad. That's really bad, man.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
I
bad.
don't know.
Yo,
I know
that's
it's
like
by
Ipswich
design.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know it's by design. Like Arteta was talking in one of his press conferences that he knows that Arsenal is asymmetric and that he attacks more from the right. But he's like, but being asymmetric is not necessarily a bad thing. And Nottingham Forest, people are raving about them, including me. They're tied on
Yeah, yeah.
points with us. They have the same problem almost as us, huh? Like the way they attack, but they're asymmetric, but from the left. Like, so you guys know, 45% of our attacks this season are on the right, 32% are on the left, 23% are through the middle, right? That's it. To give that into comparison, Man City, right? 30%. Even with their bad season and whatever, they like create through the middle. Chelsea, of course, with Cole Palmer, is creating a lot through the middle. Like all these other big teams that we want to be, they're a lot more mixed, right? They attack almost equally on all three sides. They're more unpredictable. We are very predictable. To make it worse, what did we say? I think last year, before like one of our final episodes, you said if Saka is injured, the season is done, right?
Yeah, I
Saka's
still
injured,
stand by it.
guys. Saka's injured. And then we get Nwaneri to come in. Now he's injured.
Yeah, just
Yo,
to add to that, so the season's done, and yes, but at the same time, it doesn't necessarily have to be. Meaning what? We're in January right now. There are solutions. You can get solutions. So it's not like we're in February and Saka's now injured for the rest of the season, sort of thing. And you're basically screwed. You have to hang on, see the season out, and go again the next season. Yes, our best player, our world class player, is out until who knows when. Could be March, could be April, depending on how he heals, right? But you've got a transfer window that's currently open. You've got about 3 weeks to make something happen. Again, we're fans. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. But the truth is that we were debating a lot about it in the group this morning. Just, just on how you don't even have to be a fan to know like what we're missing. You know, we've done it before. We've done it before. As in what? Obama Yang. We bought Obama Yang, and then in a January transfer window. Leandro Trossard, we bought him in a January transfer window. When those type of players came in, both forwards, you know what the impact. It's called an impact signing. And even Aubameyang in that half season did really well. The next season, I think he went on to get Golden Boot the season after and so forth. So
tied, huh? Yeah, he tied
yeah,
with
he was
someone. I
tied.
think
Yeah,
he shared
tied,
the
but
golden boot. Yeah.
still number one shared. So for me, it kind of feels like two things here. Yes, we've been unlucky. Like it's a very unlucky season what we're having. Like let's be honest. From injuries to referee decisions to we're not gonna get into like the Brighton. What did it say? Like the ball,
Ah,
Saliba didn't hit the
the
ball. The
Saliba
ball
Saliba didn't hit the ball. The ball got Saliba.
the
Saliba
ball
didn't get
got
the ball.
Saliba.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Let's not even get into to
Guys,
pundits saying all types
no.
of things.
I'm sorry. I am gonna get into it just a tiny bit. I did my referee exam.
Yeah.
I went through PGMOL's rules. I did it last year, remember? And I only got one call wrong in the whole exam. So I like to think of myself at least as a decent decent like spotter of like, oh, this is a foul, this is not. Even like though I'm an Arsenal fan,
Yeah.
I promise you, I have never
You
read.
can referee a
You
semi-pro
guys
match,
were so
basically.
calm. You guys were so calm. You guys were so calm when that penalty was given in the group. I
And
was so frustrated because I was like, I've never seen this before, this type of penalty, even if Saliba hadn't touched the ball. But the fact that Saliba touched the ball and VAR didn't even look at it like a little bit and then ask the ref to go look. Dude, how many times have we seen refs spending 3 minutes on like stupid stuff? For that, they were like 3 seconds. But it's okay. I know everyone who is Arteta out is like, this guy, stop with referees. All good. We can blame Arteta. We can blame Arteta for Martinelli hitting the post and yesterday and for the ref decisions that we've been having this season and for the injuries. All good. But guys, this is stupid. Like this season, I can't, man. This is like not a normal season, man. This is not normal what we're going down with, but
yeah,
it's okay.
I mean, about the ref thing, the only thing I want to say about that is I think it's a bit sad. You must not be surprised that we weren't like as pissed off as you. It's just has happened to us so many times that we're tired. It's like we don't even know how to react anymore. We just like, yeah, there it goes again. But the truth that we so used to the referees screwing us. But again, it's like it shouldn't happen. But also we should be winning the game because we've got enough. Oh, it's one of those things, right? I think referees have screwed Wolves. Whew, a
Yeah,
new
more than us,
whatever
for
you
sure.
call it. Yeah, like
For
Wolves.
sure.
Wolves, I think can actually press charges and actually sue
Bro,
the Premier League. Like,
for
okay, yeah, no,
sure.
well,
If I was
no,
working
for
in that
sure. Like,
club, I would be going to court.
sheesh,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah. So, yeah, but you'll never see anything given for that. I think in world football, not even the World Cup, not even Champions League, you'll never see anything given for that. It's a clash of heads. And I think what pissed me off more was not even the penalty, was the fact that João Pedro went and took the penalty while he had a head injury that he should be off the pitch, according to
Yeah,
the rules. so, so,
Bro,
yeah.
so,
the
so he
rules
wasn't injured
don't
then.
apply.
You
The
know,
rules don't apply to
which one
others.
is
The rules only apply to
it?
us. The rules only apply to us, man. Even the
you
rules
know,
that don't exist, they apply to us. But it's all good. I mean, to be fair, Tottenham also got screwed, huh? In the same day. You guys saw the goal that
yeah,
Newcastle scored.
yeah.
The handball. That's the ball hit his hand versus the hand hit the ball. That's a rule, so I can go for that. But they can't give me this head hitting the ball hitting the head versus the head hitting the ball. Like I've never seen that. It's not in the rule book. But okay. Okay.
Yeah, unlucky season, but we still have a chance now to inject something. I almost feel like these players need to be inspired, like the actual forwards that we have right now actually need to be inspired by someone coming in. It almost feels like it'll give everyone a lift. That the season that is already like a weird one, and someone that can hit the ground running. I know it's in a perfect world you would know who that is. You would go and get them. They would be affordable. They would push the transfer at their club if to get out. Again, not easy, but I feel that we the opportunities there. That's what I was gonna say. The opportunities there for us to actually go into the second half of the season strong and try to get something out of it. And I think starting with, and it's a nice segue into FA Cup Manchester United, we need to respond. We can't go out of the FA Cup. We need no for sure. I think I almost feel like the pressure is on us. We are playing at home, but the pressure is on us. Amarim's team is a different team than what we faced them in the beginning of December. We saw it in that Liverpool game. They were much more prepared, organized. If anything, I give them props how they played against Liverpool. That was actually a good game. Maguire should have got the winner, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, he comes with yeah. It's a defender. It's a defender trying to score a tap in, right? And to be fair, the ball looked like it bobbled a little bit before he hit it. But anyways, I'm not using that as an excuse for him.
So So pretty much what three of our players did yesterday. Huh? Timber also missed us. Like, I'm sorry, but that header that Timber missed, I remember doing this course on studying XG. You meant to like predict XG as it happens and whatever. And do you guys know what a penalty? What's the XG for a penalty? Like, try guess. Out of what? It's 70% chance that a penalty goes in, 0.7, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
30% of the time a goalkeeper might head it.
Might save.
Might
Oh, he
save
might
it.
completely miss it.
Yeah. Most of the time, the XG is lower than what people think, right? So, like, XG can be like 12%, 15%, 0.5. Dude, for me, that one is more than half. He should score that. Do you know what I mean? So it's like a 0.6. Like, that's like a really high XG chance.
Yeah.
For me, like, the fact that he missed that, I would assume that more than, like, out of 10 times, at least 6 times someone is scoring that, man. So, like, him missing that and then Havertz doing his thing, even though I still say he had diarrhea. And then the third one was, like, Partey, I think. Partey also missed another one. Did you guys see the XG for us for the game? It was, like, over 3, and we scored 0.
Yeah.
Newcastle had the XG of 1. They scored 2. And that's the thing, when you have good players like Isak and what's his name, the winger,
Gordon.
and Gordon, they don't need chances that they meant to score. They even score with chances they're not meant to score. Our players, man, they need like a gift from the heavens in order to score a goal. But I don't even blame them. I don't even blame Arteta. I still blame the club. You're telling me in January we can go and sign? We will not sign anyone. We don't even have a sporting director.
No one. Yeah.
We don't have, like, we have Jason Ato, who is following the plans from Edu from like 6 months ago. Guys, we're gonna get no one. I'm not gonna lose sleep over this January stuff. Like, we're signing no one. Like, I'm just being real. So if we lose in the FA Cup and we don't sign anyone, I don't know.
I don't think. Sorry, going back to what you said, Fabio, about Trossard and you don't want to hear about Sterling. I differ on that because I think maybe at the start of December we were just like that about Gabriel Jesus, and he came up with 6 goals in that month. So people can turn it around, and why I'm upset about the squad management is because when we look at the depth chart of the squad, we essentially hired Sterling to be Saka's replacement. If he cannot even play in that position, then why did you get him? To get what I'm saying? That is my gripe. He is a left winger. We know he comes in more to the striker from the left to the center. But you're asking him to do something that he's not meant to do. You say Havertz, he came off being sick and so forth. If that's the case, my brother, stay home. Why is the manager putting him in there if tomorrow he's going to say he's sick? You have a Gabriel Jesus that I won't say he's in form, but he's a striker. He's the number 2. How are you going to say this guy's going to play at 60%? And then when chances go away, we're going to sit here and say, oh man, but this guy he was sick. Come on, bro. Come on. If Odegaard was also sick, I could even see a case for putting like a Trossard there. He's more of a playmaker in the middle type of thing because Bukayo Saka has also played in that role. We don't have Ethan, but they kind of fit these molds. And that's where my squad management and squad building comes on hand. Yes, we know the season's long. Yes, there's going to be injuries and so forth. But if you look at the depth chart, come on, man, you're playing people out of position when you have people in the squad. We have Zinchenko.
Yeah.
Up till now, tell me why has he not even tried playing him in the 8? He plays there for country, my man. How? He can progress the ball forward. He progresses the ball forward. He drives us. That's why that statistic of our counter attacks on the middle are so low because we don't have drivers. We don't have people that turn and go forward. If you're looking at that left-hand side, Marino's playing there. Marino's stiff, man. He's stiff. Not saying it in a bad way. He's just stiff. He's not going to progress the ball forward.
I am
He's
saying
not.
it in a bad way. But yeah,
Yeah, you're looking at Declan Rice to do that, but that's not his primary thing.
yep.
His primary is to sit deep. But when he
Mm-hmm,
goes back, you see Partey there, so now he has to go forward. He needs to try to be a playmaker, but he's not.
mm-hmm.
So we're just buying players that are not fitting the system. And for me, if we don't buy this January, I already think the season's over. Not the season's over, but I already think that we're not going to win the league. But if we don't buy this January, we might as well gift wrap it to Liverpool because one thing that I don't like about Arsenal, that I don't like about this organization, is that we have our targets. We know that they can be got because some of the targets that we're looking at have release clauses. We don't even have to negotiate, my man. Just pay the money. You got Gokeres, you got um, what's his name,
Nico Williams.
Nico Williams. They're there for the taking. We have Osimhen there for the
Mm-hmm,
taking. Just pay the money, they come. I was reading an article today talking about Arsenal doesn't have to, if they want to spend big this January, they're not going to be in violation of those financial fair play and so
PSR,
forth.
yeah.
So we can
Yeah.
spend. Yeah, so we can spend. It's about who are we going to get. And I don't like Arsenal because we were out for, I'm just saying it how it is. We were out for Mudryk. We didn't get him. What do? We got Trossard. We were out for Caicedo. Why didn't we get him? Oh, we didn't get him. We get Jorginho. So we're always getting like scraps, my man. It's never our top target. We always settle. We know who we need to get. We know Gyökeres is gonna be expensive, but he's gonna do damage. Look at the game yesterday, Porto Sporting, big game. Who came up with the winner? Gyökeres. This January already, he's had a hat trick in one of the games. He's ready
yeah.
to go, my man. The highest
Hat trick
rated
against
player.
Man City, yeah? In this
Well,
Yeah,
last
he
no,
season.
no,
got
no,
one
no, no,
against
no.
City, yeah.
Here, no, no, no. Yeah, yeah, and City, yeah.
And
So
City,
he's
yeah.
already bagged like about four. Yeah, it's already bagged like four or five goals just in January already. You got Victor Osimhen. He's the highest paid player in the that
Turkish league.
league. Sorry, in the
The
Turkish league.
Superliga, yeah, the Turkish league.
And he's got a release clause. He's ready to go, my man. We have these players. If the club really is ambitious as they think they are, they need to go and spend. And they cannot go and say, look, we need to put up numbers. Like this Mateus Cunha, man, dog,
No, but Mateus Cunha, I
come
think was well,
on.
we were never in for him, to be honest. I think it was agents, and because he's signing a new deal with Wolves now. That was like agents.
Yeah, but we can't be linked with that, man. Like we gotta think big. We only
Yeah, and
five
now
points.
we're being
We're
linked
only
with
five
what's
points
his
by
name?
Liverpool.
We're being linked with Mbemo, but in the summer. So
In the
Oh
rest the
summer.
day.
my goodness!
I don't
My
mind if you get him
goodness,
Wemo
brother.
now, but in the summer, no, no, no,
No,
no, no,
man. No, man.
no,
Yeah,
No,
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 no.
no,
I thought it was
Now,
now, but it
no,
was like,
man.
and then
now
I
I
saw
wouldn't
like in the
mind
summer.
because we need
No,
someone.
bro.
Now we need someone,
No,
you know what I
bro.
mean? But
No, no,
guys,
no, no. No, man. No, no, man. Look, man. We need if as you said, we need players that will rejuvenate, revitalize the team. It has to be a marquee signing. It has to be somebody that comes in and you know that this guy is gonna be it.
Yeah,
It's
like we
either
did with
somebody.
Pogba. Yeah,
Exactly, bro. Yeah, exactly, bro.
it's
so
Exactly.
Osimhen.
We
guys,
need to go.
just a question.
Osimhen, dude.
Just a
Yeah,
question.
He's
just
got
take the
issues with
punt, man.
his
Yeah.
parent club,
You just
and that
take the
guy's ready
punt,
to
man.
roll.
Just take it. Yeah, just take it. And you know what? Even if it doesn't work out, at least we tried, my man. We tried.
I
But we
Yeah,
cannot sit at a situation where we're playing it safe. We're just getting squad players after squad players because we have the money.
yeah.
If
I
the organization is
also
is happy
yeah.
to just chase top four, they must send me an email and say, you know what, our objectives are just this. We don't want to win, we just want to get the bag. And I can just be like, okay, good,
okay, fair enough.
take that.
Communication,
But
great.
if you
Yeah.
yeah, but if you want me to believe that we are chasing titles, you got to show me that you match the ambition. Right now, I don't see that, my man. I don't. With the recruitment for the last 24 months, the players that we've gotten in, the players that we've sold, the money that has come in, and what we've got for them, it doesn't make sense. Calafiori, yeah, he's nice, but he's not a starter. And
Yeah,
he's not
squad
even
player.
starting. Marino, he's good, but he's not starting. Sterling, deadline guy, he's not starting. Neto,
Uh,
you know, for
oh,
what, my
guys,
man?
we finally gonna get to see Neto this weekend. Surely he's gonna play in
He
the FA Cup, right?
probably not.
Surely.
No, man. No,
Nah, you
he's
gotta
not.
No?
put
In my
Ryan, man.
opinion.
You gotta put Ryan.
No,
Oh
He's
in my
wow, gotta
opinion,
put Ryan.
no, in my
gotta lose
opinion,
that
if
game.
we're chasing titles, we cannot go with somebody that hasn't even played one game. You're gonna put faith in him for
Against
one
United,
game.
a derby.
No, man.
So what was the
If it
point
was
of
like a
signing him then?
sort of man, squad players, numbers,
Yeah, look, if we
squad
were
players.
playing like Notts County or like Barnsley,
Yeah,
then yeah, put
Yeah.
Neto for sure, you know.
yeah.
Okay.
But I
Then
mean,
he's gonna.
I
Then we're
still
gonna get.
yeah.
Then we're
I
gonna get
still
kicked
think
out. And then what
Calafiori
would have been the point?
yeah. I still think Calafiori is our best left back. I know
and
he's
he's
made
on
some
Uh,
loan.
mistakes,
Sorry.
but he's injured,
man.
man. Calafiori is just always injured, man. But the other three,
I don't
I'm
know
with
about
you all
that.
the way. I'm with you all the way.
I
But
don't know.
Yeah,
Calafiori, I
yeah,
like him.
Lewis Skelly for me, if he gets a
Oh, of
good run
course.
of play, the
yeah,
guy is young.
yeah.
We're putting our bet on Calafiori because of the money that we spent for him. Looking at Lewis Skelly, he's from the academy. He's free. We're always going to give the chance to something that we bought. But this guy here has been showing the
No,
kid
he's been
that he's
shining. I
got the
agree.
balls. Yeah,
He's
I
been
don't know
shining.
why Calafiori. I don't know why
Yeah,
Calafiori would take his place because the guy can
yeah,
progress. He is overlapping. He comes into the middle, and he's dude. Look
yeah.
at those through
But
balls of
Yeah,
his.
and
Calafiori
he
yeah, I
keeps
doesn't
the
hear
give
ball
you
you.
that.
very well as well.
But can I
Yeah,
tell you
Yeah,
guys what I see
Calafiori
for next
doesn't give you
season?
that.
I think that Lewis Skelly, I mean, currently, without knowing who we're going to buy and assuming that we don't, I think that Partey is leaving because his contract is coming to an end. So next season, Rice will be the sixth. I think Lewis Skelly from next season will be in the midfield because that's his position, right?
yeah, it
Like
is.
we're just giving him some time and we're putting him as a left back, but because our left back doesn't play left back, our left back plays midfielder really,
Yeah, true.
right?
Yeah,
Which I think maybe is a question I want to ask you guys, man. Arteta's tactics, this idea that we don't have fullbacks that actually play as fullbacks
hmm
and we like to play the way we do. Do you guys think that that's the real, like, I don't know, like, what do you guys think of his tactics, man? Is he doing the best he can with what he has? And are you guys happy with the style of play?
No,
Um,
I'm not happy with the style of play.
no, I think that's where we
No, I
both
mean
agree.
if that's his
Yeah,
tactic, yeah, if that's his tactics, I mean he's the coach, so I cannot be the one to tell him what tactics he needs to use. But what I can see on TV, I don't think that he's utilizing the best of our players. Man, we had five players that finished in the PL team of the season last year. We have four players that made it in the top 50 Ballon d'Or list last year, and we're still stinking out the place? Doesn't make sense. We deserve to be better than this. We deserve to be better than this. Martinelli,
yeah,
my
Ish.
man, I say in the group, he's a headless chicken, man. He might, Fabio, as you say, oh, he gives you a lot of defensive work. He shows you grit. He shows you heart. My man, when that guy runs, you know nothing is coming from it. I'm not talking about the chance missed yesterday. I'm not. But when he bombs down that left, bruh,
yeah.
you know what's coming. End
So,
product
guys,
stinks.
yeah. But listen, that part, actually, what's cool, I'm glad you mentioned Martinelli because here, actually, I'll put up Martinelli's like statistics and thingy I wanted to share with you guys. I don't think Arteta, I don't know, I listened to an interview of Arteta's the other day as well when he was talking about Martinelli and I was thinking about it. I think I spoke to HC. I've thought about it some more. I don't think Arteta fully gets Martinelli, man. To be honest, I don't think Arteta is the right coach for Martinelli because to me, Martinelli has some very clear strengths and some very clear weaknesses. And the way we play him is not to his strengths at all. Martinelli, you're saying that he doesn't have end product. I disagree completely. I think Martinelli can make a run through the line and he can score. He is like a forward who is more of a striker and he works hard. What Martinelli cannot do is have the ball, think where to pass to this guy, get the ball back, play with like a slow team where he has to think a lot and he has to pass a lot. Like he's not Saka. Saka is smart. Like Saka knows I can cut in, I can go to the right, I can put in a cross, I can shoot. Martinelli reminds me a little bit like Theo Walcott when he didn't have time to think and he just had to run. He would do crazy stuff and he would score. He plays on instinct, right? I think that Martinelli is becoming worse and worse as a player because Arteta is asking him to be a player that he isn't. He's asking him to be like ponderous, thinking, pass there, get the ball back. I want you to stay out wide. Arteta is no longer, he's losing his own confidence because he's overthinking everything. And I, to be honest, think it's Arteta's style of play because Pep does the same thing. I don't know if you guys remember the player that Grealish used to be when he played for
Yeah,
Aston Villa.
yeah,
That guy used to run on instinct, running there, running there. You guys see Grealish now, man. He's destroyed. Like he's like because he just the way Martinelli is playing is the same. It's like he just goes out and has to do one thing and then has to pass back. It's not his style of play, man. He doesn't have the vision to be
yeah.
the
It's
type
like
of player.
spontaneous. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, but then,
spontaneous.
sorry, H, before you got in.
Sorry.
If that's how you think, Fabio, the coach, the organization, sporting director, whoever it may be, has to be ruthless and get him out. Take him out. If he does not fit the system, he does not fit the mold of what the coach is trying to tell him to do. Be ruthless and get us somebody that can do it. Not saying sell Martinelli. I'm not advocating for that, but it's clearly not working.
yeah.
It's not
Which makes me sad,
working.
huh?
His
Because
end product,
I love
Yeah,
Martinelli,
his
but yeah,
numbers have been decreasing from that
yeah,
15 goal season, which was 2 years ago. His end
yeah,
product and output has been shocking. What we are doing is we're clinging on to that fanfare of saying, look, Martinelli, he's our own. We brought him up. No, 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 no. That is wrong. We are here to support
yeah,
Arsenal Football Club. We're not
yeah.
here to support
I hear you.
individual players because these guys
Yeah,
come and they go. If they are not doing what they're supposed to do, I expect the club,
yeah,
the manager, organization to be ruthless and get us
yeah.
somebody that's going to be the player that Fabio is talking about.
Yeah. But for me, for that, I mean, now they're busy talking about a player. I don't know if you guys have heard of him. He's from Las Palmas, Alberto Moleiro. That's who they're like trying to say we should
Hmm.
get because he's more like
yeah,
that. He's like got that technique, comes from the same academy. I think it's Pedri, huh, who went to Barcelona, who also came
yeah.
from Las Palmas, not Gavi. Yeah. So I get that vibe. They're saying maybe we'll get him. I don't know. He might be good. I used to like him 2 years ago when he was second division, but I don't know if that will translate to Premier League. But I feel sad for Martinelli, man. If Martinelli is playing for a transition team, like a Unai Emery team,
Yeah,
when ball is going like this, he'll be a
yeah,
baller, man.
yeah.
He'll be a
Baller,
baller.
big
But
time,
for us,
big time.
for Arteta's
Yeah,
style of play, it
you're
doesn't
you're
work.
talking about the tactics, right? I'll just jump in quickly. Like just on the
Yeah,
tactics for me, it just feels very. If I compare it to past season and even the season before that, when we had Granit Xhaka, we did
yeah,
Granit Xhaka. We it
I
was it
miss that
was
guy.
free it was free flowing, man. It was vibes, man. The
yeah,
vibes were something else. Last season, I think we did really well, man. Last season was actually a good season. Um, it was just inches, right? Inches. But it was a good season. There were a few cracks which we knew, and I think I put it on the group where I think it was James Gunnerblog who Athletic reported saying that there's talks of the organizations talking about what they missed in the game just after the game against Bayern Munich that we lost in the Champions League in the knockout,
mm-hmm.
and it's kind
Yeah,
of like we know what
Yeah,
we know
that
what's
X
missing, we
factor.
know what needs to exactly that X factor, and we failed miserably, and my head is going like, flip, is that why like Edu left? Is there, was it up to Edu to kind of like push through the Sesko deal because maybe Arteta wanted Sesko? I don't know. Like I'm just assuming things right now, right? But even with all this said, I look at our tactics since the beginning of the season, and I've said it a few times with certain players. Like you take Odegaard out, it was dog shit football. Like we were playing some horrible stuff. You know, stuff that I
Yep.
hope I never see again. But you never know. And we were always discussing this. Is that we Odegaard is out. Who's the replacement? Who takes on that role? You've
Who's
sold
yeah.
Emil Smith Rowe. You've loaned out Fabio Vieira. You know,
Mm-hmm.
the team management, like who then fills that role? You know, and and honestly, I rate Ethan Wanyeri. I think he's gonna be a baller. Like he's shown it, he's got it, but it's a lot to put on someone his age that now you gotta carry what the captain's role was. And I get why as well. Arteta also was a bit, let's put on the brakes, let's manage this kid a little bit. That I get too. But
Hold
it's,
on, I have to pause there. I gotta pause you.
I knew
I
it.
gotta pause
Say,
you
I
there.
knew it.
No,
I knew it.
I gotta pause you there. I'm sorry. I know you were going on and you had a good point. I just need to pause you on if you were gonna get rid of those players. You got rid of ESR. You got rid of Fabio Vieira. The next one up on the death card is Ethan. You must know that if something happens to this guy, you gotta put this guy in. If something happens to Saka, you gotta bring Raheem Sterling. If those scenarios happen, why is he then scrambling to put other people to fill? It doesn't make sense, bro.
Yeah.
It
So
doesn't.
yeah.
That's
So yeah. So we've seen a little bit of this before. We've had Arteta for 5 years, as Igor keeps on mentioning in the group every day. And we've kind of seen this pattern a little bit before. And I think when I can only assume that the manager sees in training when a lot of things that we don't see and sees in training and analyzes these players and maybe has in mind that yes, Sterling is going to be the number two, the squad number two for Saka, and Ethan Wanyeri is going to be the squad sort of number two for Odegaard. Odegaard, barely got injured last season, and it's the manager going, yeah, he's gonna play. He's gonna,
mm-hmm.
it's that little bit of like, let's risk it. Let's risk it
Yeah.
and see what happens. Same with Ben White. Same
But
with Declan Rice.
yeah,
Players that have been
yeah.
consistent, Big Gabby as well. Players that have been consistent, rarely injured, and so forth. The fact is, these guys are playing crazy amount of games, and they played European tournaments
Euros and
and
Copa
Copa
America.
America, and then straight into preseason, and it accumulates. Even Ben White playing injured, and now having to have surgery that's kept him out for a month or two. But the point I'm getting to is the fact that there's the player management side, which I think has not been handled very well. I agree with you, Bill.
Mm-hmm.
Like com- complete mess. But also on the other side, it feels like I'm forgetting who said it. I think it was Thierry Henry who said that some teams they prepare to go and win, and some teams prepare not to lose. Don't quote me on that.
Yep.
It was something
Yep. I
around that.
remember.
And I
Yeah, it
think
was
that
Henry.
we
Yeah.
prepare not to lose because I look at our draws.
Yep.
We have 6 draws.
Mm-hmm.
6. I look at us when we go 1-0 up. What do? Foot off the
Defend.
pedal. We did that against Brighton, and then you saw what happened. Boom.
By
So
by the way, on
yeah,
this, sorry, just on this,
yeah,
this is the crazy part that I think is why we all so crazy. We're like worried about referee decisions. We worried about like the injury. We are like always on the fine line. And it's because, yeah, with squad management, we were too risky. But then the way we play is like we're trying to be risk free. But I think that that setup, and this is the thing I was watching also today, this way of us attacking is on purpose to make the other team stay in a low block so that we have possession and then we dominate and then they can't counter. So Arsenal is the best team in
We
terms of
don't dominate
counter-attack.
nothing, man. We're just slow in our build up, slow in transition. We're just slow. By the time we've already moved the ball, they've already set up, and then now we are interpreting that as a low block. Every time the ball goes to like a party, no, not a party, sorry, because he at least turns and he tries to go forward. You get the ball to Marino, what does he do? Play it back. So these guys have already set up. They already
Yeah,
know where the attack coming
that's
from. It's coming from the right. What is
yeah.
going to happen if they put two people? It's going to come to, and then the semicircle. They already
So,
know this,
guys,
man, because we don't play fast. It's all
I
slow, man.
know, but what I'm saying is, I used to think that that was like just, oh, we're not coached to play fast like how we used to with Wenger, one touch. What I'm realizing more and more, especially with what's gone down with Man City now that they don't have Rodri and now they've been getting counterattacked, and how we are like the best team in terms of not getting counterattacked. Guys, you know what's scary? I think that we play so slow on purpose. I think Arteta wants them to play slow. He wants the other team to be in a low block, and then he's trusting our team to then throw headers and some shooting to then score one and then defend and not. And unfortunately, I think it's a tactic that is what he's had to use to get us this far. I honestly think last season we overperformed as because of like how tight we were defensively. But I think that if he has to evolve as a manager, he now has to get to that next step, which is like he has to accept that we might sometimes suffer more counters, but we need to play faster. But I think he doesn't want to. And now it all starts to make sense to me why he got Merino, which for me, I was like, why the heck are we getting this guy? Why he's playing so like he's doing all of these things on purpose, which is a bit strange. Like tactically for me, like it's making me realize I really don't like the way he views football. Because like I was reading even with Liverpool in that book on like how they won the Premier League, why they went for club. What the analyst was saying is that because in football, when you win, you get 3 points. And when you draw, you only get 1 point. It is in your own self-interest, it's better to play more risky and try to win because those draws are so costly. And now it makes sense why they went and they got Arne Slot. Like when you actually look at afterwards, what coach they went to get afterwards, how they play, how stacked they are in attack. We're like the exact opposite. We're stacked in the back. So because of that, it works. When it works, it's beautiful. We can get to 89 points, second best season we've ever had in the Premier League. At the same time, when things don't work, we miss one player injured, one referee decides to invent a new rule, we fucked. Like, so, hey.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I can't accept that because Saka is out, our season is done. Like, come on, man. We have a squad of what, 20, 25 players? One
yeah.
person derails.
We had
That is
23
bad
actually. Huh?
squad.
We had the
Yeah, that's
smallest squad
bad
of all the
squad
teams in the
planning,
Premier
man.
League.
Yeah, man. I understand that injuries, they're part of the game, fatigue, that's part of the game. But come on, guys. One guy, we're betting our whole team because of one guy. We should have replaced Saka. I remember having these conversations with you guys. Like, even I kept on thinking, who's in their right mind would want to say, I'm coming to Arsenal if I'm going to be playing behind Saka? Because when Saka's here, when Saka's injured or injury free, he plays every game. But now that he's injured, I can realize that this guy wasn't meant to play every game. It's not sustainable. So the person that comes is not a Saka replacement. It's somebody that is going to split time so that every time they come in with energy. A Saka off the bench, fresh, off of a guy that has just worked that left back. My man, he would cook him. He would roast him. And that's what happens on that side, or should happen on that side of Trossard and Martinelli. But what I see is both of them are bench players because they're not doing the work. Trossard for me is not a starter, but he does some of his best work off the bench.
Yeah, for
Martinelli,
sure.
once you take him out of the firing squad and you put him on the bench, he gets hungry. So it just shows that these guys are complacent until they get off the team. But if both of them are in it because one plays the one game for 60 minutes, the other plays the next, it doesn't work, my man. Like it
That's
doesn't work.
guys.
It's
That's
just
why this
becoming a bit
January,
boring, man.
you guys are saying we need one striker. We need two forwards, man. We need someone who can play striker, and we need someone who can play on both wings.
Yeah,
You know what I
but
mean?
Yeah,
January
But
will
we're not
just
gonna
be
get
it'll
that.
just be one. If we do get anything, it'll just be one player that I can't
but it
see.
won't be
We
it won't be enough, bro.
firstly, it won't even be
Saying
one.
if.
We're getting no one
Yeah, no,
besides
for sure,
Marquinhos.
for sure.
Besides
But it's
Marquinhos
just
back.
it just will just paper the cracks,
But
man,
okay,
because the
before
marquee
we
player that is to come is gonna be costly.
but before we wrap up, like who would you get if we were gonna get someone? Like who would you get right now?
I have to think
Yeah.
about it, man. I have a lot
Yeah.
of
No,
answers, but I
I
don't
would,
want disappointing ones that we won't get. So I have to try of someone
I
realistic,
would,
you know?
I would go between Gyökeres and Osimhen. Why I'd go with Gyökeres is because I have seen this guy get the ball in the middle and drive himself and take a shot. I like that. I like that aggressiveness. If he is taking and driving forward, I'm sure that's gonna push Martinelli with pace. They're coming together. Osimhen, I think he's also got speed, pace, height. So I could go either of the two, but who I would go for is Gyökeres. Yeah, I've seen enough to know that that guy's deadly, my man.
Like I think but does Arteta like your plan? That's the question.
And what if
But
he wants
no, I'm
Isak?
You
joking.
said, what do I like?
And what if he
I'm
wants Isak?
joking. I'm
What
kidding.
if he wants Isak? You know what I mean? Because if you get Gyökeres now, you're not getting Isak in the summer. Do you know what I mean? You're getting one or the
Exactamente.
other.
But if
Yeah.
you keep,
So
but what the club
so
was
what I
saying is that
think
they want Isak in the summer, but they're not going to get him because Newcastle's going to drive the price up, and we know we're not going to get. So
yeah, we just have to hope and pray Newcastle don't get Champions League and then Isak is
Oh,
in play. But
you
I
want
would
bad news
I
about
actually
that? Wait. Bad news about that. This
okay.
season, it's very likely that fifth place will get Champions League. I don't know if you guys
Oh
saw the new rules.
yeah. Actually, that's true.
So bad news there. But anyways,
That's true. But anyways, yeah. So I agree with you, Bill. Good choices. I think, yeah. Realistically, I think that we could get Mohamed Kudus from West Ham. He's already in London. He
yeah,
can
good.
be in that Saka role there because I don't think we're gonna get a center forward, if anything, or striker this January. But I actually do feel we could get a winger, and that's possibly someone who, personal terms, I don't think will be an issue. It will just
mhm.
be between Arsenal and West Ham in terms of discussing what type of fee or structure. But I think personal terms, I think Arsenal come calling, you'll be like, yeah, shit, West Ham,
But I, but
no
I, but
offense.
I, but I think, but I think Kudos would probably play in the 10 or where Odegaard is playing now, and I think it would push Odegaard to the left. So you'd be
Left.
playing with like two eights,
Yeah,
or
Yeah.
yeah.
he would play
hmm
eight, the 110. Yeah, and he would be
I know what
closer
you're
to
talking
Saka
about, though. Yeah,
because he does.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I
So,
know what
And
but
you're
I
that's
talking
would
such
go
a
about.
with
good
him too.
point.
And he's a
Yeah, I would go
tricky
with him.
player. I think we need someone that is a
Oh
bit
yeah,
like
oh yeah. He's a
unpredictable
flair
as well,
player, flair.
fast.
Yeah,
Yeah, flair. Exactly.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
think I kept on thinking about like possible sort of low hanging fruit, if I call it that. He doesn't need to relocate because he's already living in the same city, like that kind of
Yeah,
stuff. 'Cause that stuff
yeah.
counts, right? That stuff is
And he's
especially
got
in
a and
January.
he's got a release clause too.
Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know about the release clause.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
it's like
Uh,
80 something. Yeah, so he's
Oh my
got that.
God.
yeah.
80
So
million.
Okay.
that's
No,
just
no, no, no,
go
no.
get him, and
We're
Damn.
he's
not.
coming.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a lot. Okay, that's a
Nico
lot.
Nico Williams is
No,
cheaper, huh?
guys.
Yeah, but I don't
Let's.
know about Nico Williams.
It's not our money. It's not
I've got
our money. No,
I've
no,
got
we
a
See,
soft
cannot be doing
our
reservation
this.
with Nico
owners
He's
Williams.
are not.
expensive. It's not. Guys, we need these players. We are in the big leagues now. We're gonna have to spend money. That's how we can't be lowballing. If we want these players that we're describing, we're gonna have to spend the cash, my man. It's either that or we're gonna get another Trossard. Trossard came big for us, but we know he's not what we wanted. So it's either we're shopping at Walmart. Sorry, we're shopping at Macy's, or we're gonna get to TJ Maxx, my man. That's that's what we're doing.
We're
We're
at
going
TJ
to
Maxx, bro.
Macy's or me and TJ Maxx.
Sadly,
Yeah.
man.
That's the
So
But we,
situation.
but it's not gonna. guys, I hope I'm wrong, man. I really hope that
It's
we
not your
are
money,
gonna
Fabio.
splash the cat. It's not
Fabio.
about it being
It's
my
not
money.
your money. That's what
I
I'm
just don't
saying
want
to
to
you. What
dream
we need
big
to do.
when I know our owners will
No,
not pay. You know what I mean? Like
no,
when we
but
bought
this is
Declan
this is
Rice,
what
I must tell you guys, I was very surprised. Like when we spent 105 on Declan Rice, I was like, wow, because I have never seen Arsenal go and get the player that we need and pay whatever the price was. So I
and
think we need
even
to do
beat
that
Man City
again.
to it as well.
Yeah, I think we
Yeah,
need to do that again
but
for a
you gotta
forward, or
think,
we
but
won't.
the way you gotta look at it is what you just said. I have never seen I've never seen the club identify and go get that player. You don't have to complete by saying it and spend that money. We knew what we wanted. We said, yo, we need a guy in the middle. We need Declan Rice. The club has to be ambitious enough to go and get the player that we want. Take away the price, my man. We're gonna have to spend. If we want to be in a position to win titles, we need to go and get these players. We know the
Oh yeah,
organization has money. We know that.
Yeah,
We know
I
that.
agree.
It's not on us to try to balance the books. At 60 million is too much. No, man. We need to clear that mindset. We need Nico Williams. You go get Nico Williams because you know that if we win titles, we're gonna get prestige and the amount of money
Yeah,
that's gonna come into our conference because of him will be something different. So you need to just get these players, but don't go
yeah.
and get cheaper players
yeah, for sure.
to take over the people that we want. That's the
To
only
add to
thing that I
that,
have to say on that.
I hear you and I agree, but to add to that, we need to sell this summer. We need to sell Jesus, bro. I know you guys are like he's back, he's doing good. That's
Oh
good.
no,
His
no,
Yeah,
I
he's
price is
agree
gone.
with
back.
you still.
Thank
Oh yeah,
God.
We
yeah.
need to sell
Thank
Jesus.
God
I
he's
haven't changed my
gone.
mind.
For
So,
me,
Gone.
one of Trossard or Martinelli needs to go. I
I think
yes,
would always
Martinelli.
prefer
He's
if
got
yeah,
Martinelli
he's
stayed,
got more
but
value.
value. Yeah.
yeah, given the tactics and now it's not working, maybe we'll have to sell Martinelli. But I love Martinelli, but it's fine. I gotta let him go.
Yeah,
You know?
it's highly likely that the two Brazilians might go. I think so
Yeah,
as
man.
well.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Party we know
But
is going. Party's going.
to
So
transition
Rice will be the
to
six. It's fine.
yeah, but to transition, because we still got a lot of time between now and summer recruitment. But if you were talking about tactics, and we were talking in the group, um, we Arteta in, Arteta out. As for me, I am not either Arteta in or Arteta out. I am just looking for this guy, or sorry, I'm looking for the organization to find the best person that will take us to that finish line or take us across the finish line. If that's Arteta, then so be it. If the club doesn't think that it's him, don't linger around. It's your job. We pay the bills on the t-shirts and match tickets for you guys to have a recruitment department to go find that person that you think is best for us. If that person fails, at least we can say we tried. But I'm not gonna be here and be like, oh no, because we came second, but hey, we tried for second, Champions League semi-finals and so forth. My man, it's either trophies or it's a bust for me. This is how I'm
Yeah.
looking at it. And right now, I think
No,
Carabao, we're
that's the
out.
right way to
I
look at
think FA Cup, yeah, I think FA Cup, I'm not going to start saying like, I think that we're going to lose and so forth. I'm going to be rooting for the team. But if we lose that, that is 2 out of 4 trophies lost in a span of like 5 days, my man. Because I don't think that we're going to get over the hump at
crazy
Newcastle
thing is
done.
that it's happened before. It's happened before.
Oh,
So
done.
it's
So,
happened before.
if we
Look,
beat them, Peppa, we go. But
I mean, to sort of like wrap it up, I think I agree with you, Bill. Yeah, I agree with everything you said, man. I agree with everything you said. Look, I'm very much Arteta in, and that's because the season is still going. And like I said in the group, I'm going to reserve my judgment to May, and analyze how the entire season went. I still think this is a season with things to play for. As long as you're still in the cup, you're still in it, right? Even though I think Carabao Cup, it's that one. That one was the one I had my eye on, but I think it's gone. But anything is possible in football. Who knows? Maybe there's a pizza gate, and Newcastle players will then get a taste of having runny stomachs, and who knows what will happen. Um, FA Cup possibility, Champions League, I think is a stretch, but also Champions League, you need luck, and I think anything can happen with that, just as long as we avoid Bayern. And then the league, I mean, the league is the league, right? Liverpool are going to drop points, but then are we, right? 6 draws already. It's just, again, if it's tactics, the tactics need to change a little bit, I feel. We need to be a bit more brave. I think we need to be a bit more, it feels like the players are very, like, rigid and very, like, if I don't do that, and it feels like everything is like you play within that square, and within that square, then you move to the next square, and and you can't move out of that square, sort of thing. It kind of feels that way because when it goes right, it's wonderful, but when it goes bad, it goes really bad. And that's where we're at, like Fabio was saying. So I'm gonna reserve judgment till May. I'm definitely gonna back the manager. All managers say stupid things like the ball's different and things like that. All managers do. Wenger also had his moments. Sir Alex Ferguson had the moments.
Wenger
So
was about the grass. Don't forget, the
just the
grass
grass.
is too long because it slows down the ball. How fast? That's how
Yeah.
fast we all used to play, guys. We needed the grass to be perfect.
To be perfect, yeah, and it was actually
Yeah.
Wenger made sure it was. But yeah, it people that are like I think a lot of fans are overreacting, in my opinion. It depends on your view. Like people that are like, oh no, Arteta out. Like for me, it's like it's ridiculous. You're asking for that, especially now when you look at where we're at and there's still things to play for. But I understand the frustration, as in, we watch ball, we watch the games, and we can see that, in my man, this is not great. This is sometimes horrible to watch. This is sometimes like hard to watch, like falling asleep. Gotta
Yeah.
watch. And again, I'm gonna end off with saying that like I think we're a team that prepares not to lose instead of a team that goes
Mhm.
and to win every game.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
And
agree. I agree.
yeah. Billy, do you wanna add? If you don't, I'll
No. I
okay.
added. I want your opinion. H
Okay.
gave his.
Yeah. For me, man, I think the way I judge football is a little bit different from like a lot of fans. Unfortunately, I wish I wish I was more like, I'm just gonna be emotional. We win the trophies. To be honest, I'm not even judging the coach this season. Although I have some frustrations with him, I will back the coach for sure, just because I used to not back him the first 2 seasons. And every time he's proven me wrong. He's been improving every season. You know what I mean? From 60 something points to 82 something, now 89. He's shown me already like I didn't like his process, but he's shown me that the process was working. So my mind has changed, and I'm staying with Arteta until like other things prove me wrong, and then I'll change my mind. Just like Havertz, I used to not like. Now I'm sticking with Havertz. I feel like I can't be like making decisions based on one or two results, and if we get knocked out. But what I'm actually judging is the Arsenal football institution. What are they gonna do? So for me, who they appoint as a sporting director, I care more about that than if we win the Carabao Cup. Just being honest. That's what I'm judging, because that's going to define like how the next few years are going to go. Am I going to be happy as an Arsenal fan, or am I going to be sad every season? You know what I mean? The second thing, who are we going to sign this January window? Which my expectations are literally zero. We're going to sign no one. I'm hoping to be surprised. And what are we going to do in the summer? For me, we're not going to win the Premier League, I'm just being honest. League Cup, I think we still have a chance, but I also don't think we're going to make it. We're not like Liverpool in Champions League when they needed to win 3-0 and they had Klopp and then they went and they won and they beat Barcelona. I think we're not even going to score one goal. We might win 1-0 at Newcastle if we're lucky. So it's Carabao Cup, whatever. But if we could like just have a good run in the FA Cup, you know what I mean? Like that would make me happy. But I'm not going to judge Arteta on any of that. I'm judging the club. I'm not judging Arteta, man. I'm judging the club. Is the club ready to take the next step? Because for me, the coach has already shown that he is getting better and better, but he can still improve. But for me, the club hasn't shown me that they know what they're doing. Their scouts, I'm sorry, but this summer for me, I was like, what the heck are the scouts doing? What is the dude doing? When I heard the dude was leaving, I was like, oh, maybe this guy was already on holiday, man. You know what I mean? That's why he's like half getting players. That was not a serious summer. So if we gonna have another January like this and next summer like this, guys, next season, we're also going to be in the same place, complaining about referees and hoping for a Carabao Cup. But I couldn't care less about Carabao Cup, man. I just want us to freaking be a good team. And we'll see. I don't know. I don't know, man. The emotions are starting to mess with me. So I just want to see how the season goes. But hey, I understand the frustrations, man.
Yeah,
But
I
it could
think
all
we gotta
change when
keep
we
it.
beat Man United 6-0 on Sunday, you know?
No,
And then
of
it's like,
course, of course.
hey,
That's why.
we're back, baby.
Yeah, so that's why we got to keep it relevant. Fabio, you spoke about the January transfer window, you're going about summer, you're going about the sporting director. I think we got to keep it relevant. But we just came off a defeat, okay, which obviously we're super dejected. I think that we have a big mountain to climb, that's for sure. But going into the next cup game, which is Man United, I'm hoping for the best. But what I'm saying is that if we fail at Man United, that's 2 out of the 4 trophies done. That is disastrous for us because the mountain that we will have to climb for the next 2 ones, I think, are even harder than these two. That's why I think that we won't win anything. But we have a lot to play for. So I'm not saying like the season is done completely like that. And I hope I'm not going back on my words. I'm just saying as of today, this is how I feel. But obviously things change. We can pick up form and things can start to get better. But looking at it today, disaster result. It's gonna be an even disastrous result on Sunday if we lose. If we win, we're doing a podcast on Monday, which we're gonna be like, yo, guys, we survived. Let's go. We got three
Guys,
out of
if we
four.
win,
Or we even we got 4 out of 4 because as H says, it can be done. We can go there. Jesus just scored a hat trick. So we can go there and pump them, 3-1 hat trick. That takes us to penalties. Beat them on penalties. Who the fuck knows? I won't lie to you. I'm gonna be watching the game with some Man United fans, and if they win, I'm not coming here to do a podcast. You best believe that. I'd rather sleep on it because I'm gonna be cursed up. You know what I'm saying? So Monday for me, I think, yeah. But let's do Monday. But if we also win, I'm gonna be drinking my ass off. So I can't be slurring my words, my man.
okay, guys,
All right.
fellas, nice one, man. Let's
Thanks
go.
again.
Let's see.
Manningue
Let's
Gunners.
do it. Let's go, Gunners. Let's go.
Let's beat
Manning
them.
Gunners, man. Let's go, Arsenal.
Yeah.